No country in the world took us seriously. We had the largest number of poor, we had the largest number of illiterate, we had the largest number of sick. Nobody took us seriously. The country is getting divided, further subdivided in terms of race, religion, caste, creed, language. In 1951, the number of caste, today the number of caste is almost doubled from where these new castes have come. We kept dividing the country. All this division happened because of this Western ideas and ideologies. Now, what are those Western ideas and ideologies? Primarily, there are four. Four ideas which actually, Western ideas originated in the West, which shaped the thinking of our elite, our educated elite, and that shaped our country's policies and laws. The first idea was a theology that believes in anthropocentric view of life, that God created humans and then created the rest of the creation world for the pleasure of the human. So the relation between human and the nature became one of exploiter. Humans are to exploit the nature. This anthropocentric view of life, that God has created humans in His image and then created the world for the pleasure of the humans. When something has been created for my pleasure, I must use it. Why should I bother about it? Now that led to a conflict between the human and the nature. And as a result, reckless exploitation, all the problems we are facing today, whether it is a climate crisis or whatever you see. This is powerful idea. But in Bharatiya darshan, humans are not at the center of creation. God has not created humans and created world for the pleasure of humans. Here in Bharatiya darshan, we are one element, the part of the entire creation, integrally connected. Whether we are humans, whether we are plants, whether animals, we all have come from the same Mother Earth. We are all children of the same Mother Earth. The food that we eat, and a complete symbiotic relation, is a food grain. The plant gives you the fruits and food grain. We eat the food and fruits and food grains. Animals eat the plants. But the carbon dioxide which is emitted by humans and animals are essential for the survival and growth of plants. Today there is because of anthropocentric view of life, a huge amount of industrialization, use of excessive exploitation of hydrocarbons, there is a surplus carbon dioxide in the air. And there is a problem. But prior to that, when everything was in balance, everything was mutually sustaining. So, this view that humans were created by the God and the world was created for the pleasure of human is not a Bharatiya view, is not a Bharatiya darshan, is not our thought. In our thought, we are one element of creation. And that is why all our prayers, we do not pray for us, we pray for all. In our prayers, in our Vedic prayers, we say, Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kachit dukha bhag bhave. Let every being be happy, plant, animals, not only humans. Let every being be free of disease. This is a Bharatiya view. So, the one idea is anthropocentric view of life, which is a Western theology. The second Western idea is what we all teach in even our schools, our children, Darwin's theory of natural selection. Darwin said, survival of the fittest. The weak is born to perish, a strong are born to prosper. And even today, I do not know whether it is, and I'm sure it must be being taught in the biology lessons today. Even today, it is, look, it is an assumption. It is the law of the jungle. There is no compassion in it. There is no sense of right and wrong in it. In our darshan, in our society, do we believe that no, if somebody is a poor, he must die? No. In the Western thought, Western economy, they say if the person is a poor, don't worry, the person deserves to be poor and finish. There is no compassion. There is no sense of right and wrong, in a sense that we are all part of a family. In Bharatiya darshan, in Bharatiya thought tradition, there is nothing called a strong survival of the fittest. We say it is survival of the collective. Together, sahana bhavatu, sahano bhudaktu, saviryam karvavai. Let all together we prosper, together we work. Not, I am strong. Now this Darwin theory of natural selection, it embedded in the psychology of all those who read it, that this world is for the strong and clever. If I am clever, and this is what we see today, even after 70, 75 years, there are people who are super rich, there are people who are absolutely hungry, starving, living in slums, facing all kinds of discrimination. This Darwin, on the one hand we say, Constitution grants equal right and equality. But we also teach Darwin that if you have to survive and prosper, you must be cunning, you must be strong. This confusion. Third Western idea is idea given by Karl Marx. Karl Marx said, so if you look at the first, human and nature are in conflict, the theology, that human-centric, so you keep exploiting the world, nature. Second, survival of the fittest, you be strong, you just exploit the poor, exploit the weak. There is a conflict. And Karl Marx said, the society is in a perpetual conflict between haves and have-nots. Now, who are haves, who are have-nots? It is a relative term. During my time, when I remember I was a student, as somebody who is a vegetable seller on the pavement, there are people who are calling them bourgeois. The person is a bourgeois. Imagine. If somebody who is running a pawn shop is a bourgeois. Now, this is a relative term. But what he said is, society is in a perpetual conflict between have and have-nots. And in this conflict, have-nots have to prevail. There has to be rule of the proletariat. And this idea, it actually spread like virus. During my student days, If you are not if you have not read Karl Marx, and if you are not a communist, you are backward person. You are. I mean, it became a fashion. Now this, today, people laugh at it. It is a dead and gone ideology. Nobody, even the country where it originated, they have just abandoned it. There's nothing like Marxist. It was this man, Karl Marx. To help the British Empire, British government to perpetuate the empire in India, he wrote almost around 20 essays in New York Daily Tribune in 1852, when the British were ruling here. He wrote so many essays in August 1952. And there he says, British Empire has two tasks in India. The one task is total annihilation of the India's social order. It is there available on the internet. You can look for it and get it. New York Daily Tribune, Karl Marx on India, 1952. You will get it. Some of the essays are there. So he said, British must totally destroy the India's social order. Because a society that worships cows and monkeys have no business to survive. And it is a society where individual is subordinated to the collective. Collective subordinates individual, and individual potential to grow, to blossom, is heavily curtailed. This is not a fair order. It must be destroyed. So this is Marx's contribution. Society in perpetual conflict. Everyone is fighting everyone. There is no goodness anywhere. And the fourth idea was of Rousseau's social contract theory. That gentleman imagined how did society came into being. A state came into being. And he thought there must have been a contract between individual and the society. Individuals must have collected together and agreed to form it through an unwritten contract. Now, when it is the individuals who have come and formed the collective through a contract, naturally, individual is the primary stakeholder. Supremacy of the individual. Supremacy of the individual. And everyone, even today we teach in our colleges, I'm sure political science students will still be reading that, writing in the exam, social contract theory of Rousseau and natural selection of Darwin, all these things. Now social contract, they're saying that individuals have come to a contract. Nobody looked at in totality. Look, everything that you look at, every element, every matter is made of atom. Atom has its own autonomous character, but it doesn't exist in separation. It forms molecule, it forms element, it forms matter, material. Everything is connected with everything else. It interlinked with everything else. This looking at totality, everyone looked at the part. And like 6 blind men and the elephant, they kept interpreting the way they wanted. And we, in India, after the British left, we kept parroting that. We kept repeating that. And even today I am surprised. I go to, as a chancellor of a state university, I visit, I find professors talking about, all the time talking about some European or American scholar. I really pity, what is this man is talking about? As if there is nobody here. If I go other day, somebody talked about democracy of Abraham Lincoln, democracy for the people, by the people, of the people. I said, look at this man did not allow women to vote. He did not consider black to be human being. And this man has recorded. Our people have actually blindly we follow. No? This is the problem with English education. And they colonized mind, enslaved mind. Abraham Lincoln, people say he abolished slavery. It is recorded. He said, I would be the last person to abolish slavery. But at the time, the Union was at stake because North and South of America were fighting war. Long war going on. One was for, one was against. He said, for saving the Union, I have to abolish it. Not that it was his desire, voluntary realization that slavery is bad. No. He says, I would be the last, this is his word, I am quoting. I would be the last person to abolish slavery, but for saving the Union, the United States of America, I have to do it. So it was a political necessity. It was not a realization that humans are. Somebody say, okay, American Constitution says human or everyone is equal. What equal? When it was written everyone equal, all men have been created equal. Women were not considered humans, and blacks were, of course, not considered human at all. But we keep parroting, keep repeating those. I really wonder when will we be able to start thinking the way our people in the past, before colonizations, they were, after all, it was a civilization, a great civilization. Perhaps it was the leading civilization in the world in all respect, in science, technology, in agriculture, industry. India was the leader till 18th century. But this 200 years or so colonization, and subsequent to that, this Western English educated elite which continued ruling the country, it subverted the curriculum. We kept teaching our children. Things were absolutely false. There's nothing, it doesn't hold any it is not inconsistent with our thought process. And even not scientifically proved. Everyone will say, Darwin says humans have come from monkeys. And everyone believes it. Yes, it must have come. Because he found vertebra and he found, okay, this is how evolution has happened. I mean, this is parroting. There is no application of mind. So, this Western ideas and ideologies, which has created problem in the rest of the world, it created problem here in our country. And we remain divided. We remain, even after 7 decades, our country could not eradicate the basic things like hunger, illiteracy, cleanliness, health. We didn't provide that. We kept building hospitals, we kept building schools, we kept building colleges. But it was not looked at country as a family. Bharat country as a family. When you look at this country as a family, now when we are in a family, we have, let us say, 15 members, 12. Nowadays, of course, it is becoming very atomized. But you don't distinguish that, oh, so-and-so is sick. No, I will take care of this one first. No, there's no distinction. You don't keep any member of your family hungry. You don't discriminate among your family members. Looking at this country as a family, as a kutumbam, an integral approach to development, to policies, is what is integral humanism. He explained it in elaborate, more detailed. But essentially this is what it is. And Today, our country is moving forward with clarity, with our values. Even G20 presidency, we have said Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. The whole world is a family. Now this is not something which is only in Sanskrit. It is there. Here, 2000 years ago in Purnaruru, there is a saying which we all often say, Yadum ure yavarum keli. It is there. And this is dharma. One of the problem again with English education and English people is they have looked at dharma as a religion. This has done a lot of damage. As a result, religion is nothing to do. Dharma is dharma. Dharma is eternal. These are laws. These are Sanatan laws. Laws of creation. Laws of universal laws which are unalterable. If the gravity is there. You cannot change it. We are born, we grow, we die. These are universal laws. And sense of right and wrong, sense of good and bad. It's only humans have it, not the animals, nor the plants. So being at the higher level of evolution, the humans endowed with the sense of right and wrong, sense of good and bad. And this realization that we are a part of a family, entire. And with this, today, if you look at our countries, whatever the policies, these are meant for every Indian. If it comes to health, earlier it used to be Darwinian. Okay, government will have this much money, so the clever states, clever leaders will get some money more, others will not get, so those clever states will prosper. And even in those clever states, there are regions where the clever people will put something in their area, not in other area. So we have imbalances here in our own state. We have so much imbalances, north, south, east, west. It's because the whole approach was Darwinian. It was not integral approach. Now, why nobody in the world thought of for energy, everyone knows that energy is needed for our development. Without energy, you cannot. But everyone looked at hydrocarbon as a fuel, as a fossil fuel. Why didn't some people they think of seriously on the solar? It is India here. When the Prime Minister in 2015, he decided, okay, in the Global Climate Summit, he took a decision that we will move away from the fossil fuel. At the time, people were skeptical. They said, a country like India, every expert, scholars, they started saying, what is talking? We have to grow, we have to develop, we need more energy. How can we get so much solar so much? But look at today. Today, our renewable energy share has increased manifold. And we believe that by 2030 we will be able to generate at least 500 gigawatt of clean renewable energy. We are moving away and we are developing. And we are developing at the fastest pace in the world. Till some years back, when our country was not growing and nobody in the world took us seriously, our expert scholars over the world and our own scholars, English educated scholars, used to say, India will not grow. India cannot be an economic power. India can grow, what they call, at Hindu rate of growth. Hindu rate of growth, because you will not grow. This is a cultural issue. Now what will they say today when we are the fastest growing economy in the world? We are the 5th largest economy in the world, and in the next 5 to 6 years, we will be the 3rd largest economy in the world. And by 2047, we will be the largest economy in the world. Just 25 years late. The way we are, we are growing. We will grow. And it is not that we are saying. The whole world also looks at India. Yes, India has stories now. Credible story. They are all saying, yes, India will grow. And not only that, they look at India with expectation to be the engine of global recovery. You know, after the pandemic, the world is in recession-like situation. Everywhere, economy is terrible. So India is a hope for the world. Now, the same country, the same people, with a change in orientation. All that is being done today is, we are looking at the country from Bharatiya perspective. We look at the country as a whole, as a family, and when you have a country as a whole, a family, problems are all to be addressed together. It is not that I will only take care of health of some people and leave the others, no. Cleanliness. Today, till about 5, 6, 7 years back, almost 58 to 60% of our people used to go for open defecation. And when the Prime Minister talked about toilet, people started laughing, what this man is talking. It is a cultural issue again. People will go to field, forget about it. Today we have become open defecation free. 11 crore houses, homes with built toilet. No houses without toilet today. Cleanliness is not an issue of one set, it is a problem of the family, the whole Bharat. And we have to address it like that. Connectivity is the problem of whole. We don't say that, no, you build road here and don't build here. The amount of money being invested in construction of roads, rural and highways, by the central government is phenomenal. Digital connectivity, taking it, the optical fiber cable, taking to the villages, to every home. Only when our citizens grow, only when our people grow, and grow with dignity, only then Bharat will grow. And only then the world will be safe. And today, the world has no clue to the problems, global problems. They have no clue to the climate crisis. They have no clue to the war that is happening all around. They have no clue to the poverty, because they are all rooted in Darwinian thought, anthropocentric view of life, that exploit nature, poor to perish. They have no answer. Answer is here in our country. So our country, we have to grow. So when the Prime Minister gave the call of Amrit Kaal, this 25 years, setting a goal, we have waited for far too long. 7 decades is a long period. 7 decades, the country should have been completely transformed. But we continue looking at our country from the Western ideas, Western eyes. And today, when our country is progressing along the integral humanism of Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji, if you look at it, everything falls in place. Everything. All these policies, even Nari Shakti, is a part of that. Earlier, for long time, we had a gender imbalance. For every 1,000 men, there used to be about 925 female. Today we have equalized. In fact, it appears that female are more in number than the male today. At least in Tamil Nadu, when the latest electoral data came to me. We have about 15,000 more female voters than the male voters. This number is growing through various schemes. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, toilet in the houses, toilet in the schools, cooking gas in the houses, water tap, so that the mothers and sisters, they suffer. Make available, open the opportunities for the female, for our mothers and sisters. And today, this country is witnessing the change, the transformation. Energy of the people is manifesting. Earlier, it was a patronage system. The state will decide. The state is either government of India or state government. And people used to look upon this. Even now they have not completely out of it, but today there is much trust in the people. Earlier, government will do everything. Each and everything you go to government, look up to government. The creative energy of our people. Imagine 1.4 billion Indians. Each one has a special talent to do something special. But no. We have an education policy that they will give them degree and they will keep moving around seeking job. I feel sad. In Tamilnadu, here in our state, we have guest teachers, guest lecturers. 8,000 rupees a month, 10,000 rupees a month. I really wonder how the person, the person must be feeling. A person who has got the degree, who has done the post-graduation and achieved with a good marks, is not able to take care of the family. And out of sheer compulsion has to go be a guest teacher for rupees 8,000, 10,000 rupees a month. It is an indignity. It is an insult. We insulted our people for far too long. We didn't trust them. It has to change, and it is changing today. Today, because we put trust in the people, our young men and women are doing incredible things. Measuring the height of the sky, sending rockets, satellites, measuring the depth of the ocean, creating technology and instruments for the deep dive, deep sea exploration. In every field of life, our young men and women are doing incredible today. In 2014, we had hardly not even 500 startup. Today we have more than 90,000 startup. 90,000. What happened? This magic in last just 7-8 years? The magic happened because of change in outlook. Looking at our country as a family and looking at the problem of our country as a problem of the family. It is not a problem of one state or one region. It is a problem of the family. And the problem has to be addressed comprehensively. That is why you see the changes. And trust the people. Our people have so much energy. People have so much creativity. And the change is happening. Imagine, we couldn't have imagined before. COVID-like pandemic came. The whole world was in distress. People in the Western world, they were calculating the minimum there will be 70 to 80 million deaths in India. Because this country doesn't have the medical resources. Their health system is not adequate. Country has very less resources. look at what our people did. Within a record time, thanks to our scientists, they invented vaccine. At the same time that the advanced countries in the world did. And today, they created a lot of disinformation about our vaccine initially. But today everyone accepts that our vaccine is among the few best in the world. This is the power of our people. And when the national leadership gave a call, the trust of the people in that leadership, you bang the spoon and bell. Everyone did, the whole country. I was in Nagaland at the time. Remote tribal villages. When he said at 9 o'clock on that particular day for 9 minutes, put some your mobile or light and do it for remote villages. I saw people doing it. This is the trust. Because our people, a common folk, knows what this country is. It is our elite that has a problem. They don't understand what this country is and what this country is. This is called Chitta, Bharat Chitta, soul of Bharat. And when a call comes which touches the soul of Bharat, the whole country responds. And obviously, there are people, the elites, who will be affected by it. Those whose personal stakes are at stake, personal interests are at stake. They will try. There will be problems. They will try to. They will try to disturb. They will try to disturb. Raise all kinds of issues. False issues. And we are living in an age of post-truth. Anything you put it on the social media, okay, by the time the truth will come, people will lose interest. The damage is done. So, raise the issue. If nothing else, say the language. You raise the issue of language of race, language of region, I don't know what all. No. People are common folks. Common people are becoming more alert. They know which way our country is moving. And at this point of time, to make a sense of it, to make a clear sense of it, because change happens, transformation is happening. Some people have still difficulty understanding, yes, change is happening, I see everything is good. Now India is taken seriously. Indian passport holder gets entrance in many countries in the world even without visa. They say, you come, we will give you on arrival. There was a time when our Prime Minister didn't get the visa. But today, any ordinary person traveling with an Indian passport goes to a country without a visa. More than half the countries in the world, around 3/4 countries in the world, okay, you are Indian passport holder, on arrival visa is with. This is happening. But to make an intellectual sense of it, what is that being done? What is the magic? Now there you need to understand Deen Dayal Upadhyay's integral humanism. And the contribution of Professor Dharmalingam, and by writing these books for our Tamil friends, is remarkable, and I wish and I hope that there are many other scholars, many other young scholars who come forward to study this. Study, do research, write books, write essays, write op-eds. Let there be intellectual churning, a discussion. Because while the change is happening, and it will happen, the transformation, the new India is taking birth. It is also important that we also rescue our intellectual space from the colonized control of the colonized people, colonized minds. Our intellectual space has been highly captured by colonized minds. Other day, a very senior person, I read in the news, tamilnadu, in a conference in a college, a very responsible person, he says, British rule was a blessing in disguise. But for British, Tamil Nadu would not have got the education. I mean, I wonder, what is this? This is the extent of colonization. So we need to rescue our intellectual space from the control of colonized minds and pseudo-interest. And understand who we are. And that is what makes us, when Prime Minister said, Panch Par, Virasat Par Gaurav. One is total freedom from colonized mind. To totally free your mind from colonization. And second is taking pride in our heritage. This heritage. Our Sanatan heritage. That we are all a member of a family. There is no exclusion in this dharma. And again say, dharma is not religion. And it is the responsibility of our educated class to use the word dharma wherever dharma is to be used. Don't, please, heaven's sake, for God's sake, or for Bharat's sake, don't use the word religion for dharma. Because it has done huge damage. In this dharma, there is no infidel, there is no pagan. All are one, member of a faith. I wish again more and more people to join, more and more people to study, explore, and Professor Dharmalingam, let your tribe increase. You are one. Let there be many more who should join in the faith. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you very much.
I place on record my sincere thanks and gratitude to the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri R.N. Ravi, for his intellectual and informative chief guest address. Thank you, sir. And I am delighted to invite Professor B. Dharmalingam, the author of the books, to deliver his musings on the books authored by him, followed by a formal vote of thanks.
அனைவருக்கும் உளமார்ந்த வணக்கங்கள். Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, the other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, officials from Raj Bhavan, faculty members and students from Alavappa University, Madras University and Tamil Nadu Open University, journalists, friends from media and press, good morning to you all. At the outset, I am extremely happy to celebrate the regretted day in my life. On this occasion, I deem it a pleasure to offer musings regarding the books written by me on Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya. Generally, the author's musings consist of what is in the book besides what made him to write it. I take this opportunity to share with you a few of the reasons why I wanted to write these two books. After assuming as a chair professor of Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya in Alavappa University in 2019, I started reading in depth on Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya and his ideology of integral humanism. His unique principle of Ekatma Manavat is a valuable one, and as a true visionary, he has laid a roadmap for all generations. It's a social, economic and political philosophy which holds relevance for the contemporary Indian scenario, as our Honorable Governor and other dignitaries mentioned. In alignment with this, our Honorable Prime Minister of India and his respected ministry have been framing the developmental planning based on Panditji's wonderful recommendations through his ideology. While reading and relating Upadhyaya, thus I understood that many of the reading materials are available either in Hindi or English. Hence, this present book, where I have combined this ideology in my own words in Tamil. The second book contains quotes from Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya, which again is unique for having more than 170 quotes from his mastermind. Through this publication of books in Tamil, I hope that Upadhyaya will reach greater to Tamil Nadus and enhance better understanding of the social, economical and the political scenario of India today. With these few words, I would like to express that I am extremely honored and humbled by the elite gathering on this most memorable occasion in my career. My sincere gratitude is unto our Honorable Governor for his kindness in releasing two of my books titled Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya, Dispersals of Thought and Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya, Integral Feminism. It is befitting that the books on this most revered integral humanist Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya were rightly unfolded to the word of readers and scholars by an earnest reader and journalist, our Honorable Governor. I also thank our Honorable Governor for his words of appreciation for my books. Academicians in Tamil Nadu are really blessed to have an efficient administrator, an enthusiastic reader of books, and an encouraging supporter as our state governor. Thank you very much, sir, for having released my books and for having offered your appreciation. Really I am honored and I will cherish this moment forever. Professor mkstalin, Vice Chancellor, Central University of Tamil Nadu, Tiruvallur, deserves special thanks for taking time off from his busy schedule and coming over here for felicitating the books release function and receiving the books. My hearty thanks to Professor mkstalin, who has been a long time academic associate with us. I know Professor Krishnan right from the days when he was a professor in Bharatdasan University. Nobody can forget the relentless service rendered by him as a Vice Chancellor in Madurai Kamaraj University, which has fetched A+ grade to the university. It is also evident that his service at the Central University Tiruvallur leads the institution to greater heights. Thank you, Professor, for your valuable presence today. My cordial thankfulness to Professor P. Kanasabapati, former Chairman, ICS New Delhi, for his fondness in making me happy with his honorable presence. Thank you, Professor, for your encouragement and support. Professor was the very first invitee to speak on Integral Humanism Day, observed by our University, Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya Chair, on 25th September 2019. He also inaugurated the webinar on National Education Policy organized by his chair in August 20. Now he has written a forward note to one of my books, Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya, The Integral Humanism, which has been released today. I owe my gratitude to you for the book review and felicitations on this occasion. Auditor Sri Sundaram, National Head Swedish Geographical Munch, New Delhi, is the dignitary without whom I could not have brought out these books. He recognized my academic worth and motivated me for undertaking academic pursuits. The idea of writing these books is floated by him. I place on record how Sri Sundaramji has been a mentor, a counsel and a guru in all functions and activities of the chair. Dear sir, I especially thank you for all the help and advice you have offered. Dr. R. Gayatri, educationist, Registrar, Monday School of Journalism, who has very presence here, will take the ideologies of Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya to greater reach through his School of Journalism. I feel a big sense of gratitude to you for your positive review and the kind words on the books. Thank you, madam, for having extended your kind support in organizing the book release function. I record my sincere gratitude to Mira Publications, Pudukkottai, for having published the books. I would like to express my gratitude to Principal Secretary, Sri Andhra Patel IAS, to the Deputy Secretaries of the Governor, Dr. Sengoti, Mr. Prasanna Ramaswamy, all the dignitaries, officials from educationist, journalist, members and dignitaries from RSS and BJP and Hindu Munani who are off the dais, friends and family members, university and college research scholars and students for their kind support and participation in this book release function. Once again, I thank you. Thank you.
National anthem.